Podcast, is it? Okay, good start.
Hello, denizens of the internet, and welcome to this yet-to-be-named podcast.
Unnamed.
Gonna figure that out some point during this podcast, though. But before that, probably want to do some introductions. I am Lucas the Whammy DeRuyter.
Oh, boy.
Jesus. Are we doing names?
That's actually gonna be a running bit. I'm gonna change it every time I,
Oh, God.
Usually the thing about running bits is you don't
Acknowledge.
say that it's a running bit.
Do we want to...
Meta running bit.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. That's
Clarky,
fair.
tell them who you are.
Clarky?
Oh, God.
I'm Clarky.
Pass.
Okay. Nobody. And I'm Ryan. I guess Holtz, because he said his last name, but I don't have a quirky middle name gag that I'm going to be doing every single time, so... Woo-hoo. All right. So we've got Mr. Boatloads of topics. I don't remember what your exact message was in the Facebook message, but
Topics for days.
a lot of, for days, exactly, 4 days. So if someone's got a lot of topics, I think he should most likely start us off.
Okay, then. Well, and immediately getting super meta, what is your guys' favorite YouTube channel with under 1 million subscribers?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right?
Although I don't know how well-versed you guys are on YouTube.
I'm fairly well read up.
Decently?
I'm an idiot savant.
That's a little braggadocious, but okay.
There's my favorite channel, I started watching her when she was under 1 million, but she's well over 1 million now.
All right, we'll allow it.
Kind of counts. I'll get
Yeah.
you.
But, I just started watching Southern Cannibal, and he's only got 4,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
Okay.
What's Southern Cannibal about?
He's, he reads, creepy stories, and he's got, a really good
Oh,
voice
like
for
a
it.
tone.
Yeah, so, he does, they're not just, there's, a wide variety of them, too. I like the deep web stories.
Oh,
Those
boy.
are good. He,
Those are
finds
fun.
them on Reddit.
Like creepypasta type?
Yeah, he does creepypasta
Oh, boy.
too.
Got
He
it.
does
Oh,
personal
boy.
experiences. Stuff like
I
that.
love how anyone on Reddit who has anything even remotely creepy happen to them, they're all just eloquent storytellers.
Yeah.
Does scary stuff even happen to people who don't know about narrative structure?
No, well, those people just die, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
They don't have the brains to
Yeah.
escape said scary situation. So.
I'm pretty sure that the people that are really skilled with their storytelling just make stories up because they're good at telling stories.
And there's the joke.
That's most
Yeah.
likely the obstacle.
You showed me a few videos by that guy named Olin Rogers, and
I love
is
him.
he's an amazing storyteller,
Mhm.
and the things that he tells story about are just so ridiculous that
Yeah.
either he is an incredibly happening human being, or he's just an incredible liar.
He's doing really well now too. He has his whole I think he has his own studio space now and stuff, and they're doing animation now. So all of his older videos are now animated.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, my favorite channel, under 1 million, it kind of piggybacks on a channel that just crossed 1 million, which is Funhouse. I guess everyone knows
Yeah.
that. My favorite's Adam Kovic. He's one of the members of Funhouse. And basically his channel is all just really insightful commentaries, way more so than your average gaming commentary. And then also he does a bunch of tutorials how to make thumbnails or how to do right now he's doing Adobe Illustrator, which is another editing program that I've never had any experience with. So kind of it's instructional while also being super entertaining. And Adam, he's a pretty fun guy.
I've actually seen some of Adam's personal videos. There's
Yeah.
a few where he just kind of talked about his life while driving
the
around
driving
in his car.
vlogs, because he just got a Mustang, and so he's like, it's my dream car, and he just started driving around in it doing vlogs, and it was cool.
Yeah.
So he's a blast.
My channel was going to be Funhouse,
They just crossed it.
but they just crossed it a few weeks ago. And
Damn their success.
Well, they crossed it, and then they went back down because they purged all the fake channels, and then they went back across it again. So
Yeah. Plus, they were around for a long time as Inside Gaming, and
they
were
never
fairly
had 1 million.
Really?
No, they were 600,000 when they
Wow.
left. Yeah.
Wow.
No, they're very underappreciated.
But they won that Yu-Gi-Oh duel.
They're by far my favorite YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
I can agree with that.
okay, so I guess I would have to say that my favorite channel under 1 million subscribers, just because I found out that they weren't dead, Hank and Jed. They were a fairly decently popular YouTube channel a few years back. They kind of cut production They were on Machinima for a little bit, then they were off Machinima, did some stuff with Vessel, and now they're back on Machinima. They do things like Battlefield Friends and Duralis and Associates. They did a few movies, mostly animated videos with a lot of voice acting. It's really funny.
Actually, I'm a big fan of them too, to kind of chronicle how they started doing their own stuff, and it was just animated like kind of video game commentary, video game community commentary. Then they started doing Battlefield Friends for Machinima, then for Happy Hour, which is Machinima's now was their like animated weekly block of programming, or whatever's the appropriate thing to call that on YouTube. And yeah, now they're back to doing their own stuff. Coming back with season 6 of Battlefield Friends. Season 5 was on Vessel, but I don't know if Vessel's even around anymore.
It's still around.
Really?
Yeah.
And you still have to pay for it.
Good for Vessel.
Won't be around for very long then.
No.
But yeah, he and I both holding on to hope that this means that season 2 of Duralis and Associates confirmed.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there was like 3 seasons of Duralis and Associates, and all like 50 episodes were just scattered throughout.
I don't know. They had the
probably.
Kickstarter in the middle there, and it's all weird. But
Actually, Battlefield Friends season 6 is on Machinima. It's on Machinima. All of season 6 came out in one day on Machinima.
I may have to check that out sometime then.
Yeah, it's not even on their own Hank and Jed channel.
And subscribe to Machinima too early then. But anyway, my favorite, like under 1 million subs.
The one with the most knowledge on the topic, you know. They always have the best answer when you come up with the topic.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
And to continue my best answer, my favorite like under 1 million subs on YouTube would probably have to be Jello Apocalypse. I've showed you guys a couple of their videos, I think, and it's just the drawn animated kind of style. The 2 most popular series on there are Welcome To, which is like the kind of explaining of a bunch of different like websites and social media platforms, while also focusing on these sites definitely have their bullshit elements, like the barrier to entry on YouTube now, and Facebook, how friends are more of like are more treated as a commodity rather than these are actually people you care about and want to like interact with online.
Yeah.
And then the newest series is This Is Basically, which is just kind of like a humorous bare bones explanation of a bunch of different popular TV shows and video games.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out. I think every single person's channel then, other than mine, I've never even heard of. So expand the YouTube repertoire a little bit. That's how I always say it. Apparently, that's not how you say it at all.
Repertoire?
Yeah, I always say repertoire.
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 I
Because
mean,
it seems like a French word, right?
I mean, in the you speak French a little bit.
Very small amount.
is it a French word?
Repertoire? Or
Did it?
I really don't know. I don't
Mm.
think so. Like
'Cause I've
the
always-
It looks like it's
The-
spelled like a
yeah,
French
well,
word.
right?
the OI is a very like French sound. The trois.
Repertoire.
That's
Menage
how
a
I've
trois.
always said it forever.
Repertoire.
It's not called a menage a trois.
Let us know in the comments down below
Oh.
if you guys are digging this and if we
We're
start
gonna
getting
get-
into the ASMR racket.
Oh.
ASMR. Or
Repertoire.
mukbang.
I'm
like,
popping
eat
bubble
on the
wrap.
camera.
Oh. Yeah. So I think this is everyone's first podcast, except for maybe Lucas. Have you ever done a podcast type thing?
I did a podcast
Nothing.
once.
No,
Jade's
nothing
done
like
a
this.
podcast type thing before.
Oh,
Jade-
Jade's the expert.
Hated my podcast. I had to
Okay.
do it as
Jade hated it.
It was for 155.
155.
Yeah.
Eric Hoyt.
Yeah.
Reppin'.
That is a
partner
class
was really-
reference.
My partner was really odd, and
Sure.
we had to come up with a topic, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember what it was, but like everything she came up with had to do with her boyfriend that she was living with. She's like, "Oh, he's so cool. We should just do her podcast on him." Like, what?
Literally, I just realized why Eric took such an interest when I said that we were doing a podcast, because he saw me with the tripod, because I had
Yeah.
to bring it in.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, I noticed you have a tripod. Like, why do you think, or why do you have that?" And I'm just like, "Oh, we're doing a podcast thing for my club." And he's like, "A podcast?" And I'm like, "Whoa, you must really like podcasting." And now I realize it's an assignment that he made, so yeah, I must appreciate it. Anyways, so now that we're all like kind of more involved in the podcast, we got the flow going. We're gonna go to the elephant in the room, I might say, and we're gonna have to name this sucker. So, ideas, everyone.
Peas in a podcast.
Wow, that name is so original. I've never heard of it before. Actually, I'm curious. It might actually be taken because.
I did a little research.
Oh no!
Yes, I'm a tryhard. 2 peas in a podcast is taken.
Oh.
Peas in a podcast is not, though.
Oh,
I mean,
totally
but there
different.
might be some brand confusion there. I don't know.
We can take them.
Oh, really?
How
How many
popu-
followers do they have on iTunes?
I don't know, but their most recent podcast centered on My Little Pony. So
Yeah, because it sounds like a children's podcast.
Peas in a podcast does sound a little childish. Although, I mean, we've kept it pretty G-rated so far.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, maybe that'll be our new...
No.
Do we
I don't
want
want
it?
to.
Hello, kids!
Do we want to
Not
keep
for
this
long.
Today we're
G-rated?
going to learn
No.
about shapes.
a hard PG-13 at the very least.
Ooh. Well...
At the very least, or like that's as far as we...
What?
That's gonna have to be all bleeped out. All of that.
What did I even say? do I blur out my mouth too when I'm editing this?
Anyway, does anyone else have any name ideas? Perhaps Star Wars themed or related?
If we wanted to, if we wanted to name it like a different podcast related pun every week, we could do a week where we name it Pod Racing Cast, and anytime something cool happens, we all go Wizard.
I just don't think I can
No.
adjust myself to this culture enough
What?
to say wizard
It's
all
a
the
joke.
time.
No, we'd be saying it for one episode.
Also, we've talked about we
Oh.
can't have a different name every week. That is
That'd be a
impossible for
difficult
branding.
No.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
I honestly didn't think of anything because I know our organization is called Badger Television, and that's the YouTube channel that this is going to go on, at least for the time being. I mean, who knows? Maybe something happens. But for now, it's on an organization's YouTube channel, and we can't really call it the Badger TV podcast just for
That just sounds
future-proofing
redundant.
purposes. Is it recording?
Yeah, looks like it. I was just making sure.
Is the number going up?
It's
Yep.
flashing.
Because-
I don't
Yeah,
know
it's still
what that
flashing.
means.
We're good. We're
The
fine.
number is not going up.
Yeah. No, this means it's paused.
I don't think you ever started
this
recording.
means it's
Started recording.
This means
Hopefully our mic picked you up.
there we go.
All right, we're going to do a live clap sync. Live.
About to give you the clap again.
Fuck it, let's do it live. Is that going to need to be bleeped too? We need to make some
Nah.
creative decisions moving forward.
I'm okay with swearing. I don't think I'm
don't-
okay with.
Oh my god.
You didn't say anything. Oh no.
We can just bleep that out in the audience.
We
Won't
can
actually
just,
know what
let's
we're
just
saying.
bleep everything, Mr. Editor Ryan. Why don't
See-
you just
see-
why don't you
Can
just do
our
all the
podcast-
work?
See, in my creative vision, everything you just said was bleeped out.
The
You're
entire
gonna be in
podcast was just a
subtitles?
series of bleeps.
It's just we don't even say anything. We just look straight into the camera and just
Everything you say is bleeped, and there's going to be subtitles at the bottom.
oh, like candy, shiitake. I didn't say a third word because that wouldn't be a good word to say to people.
Okay,
so names,
if
we gotta keep
we
going.
don't want to go with Pizza and Podcast,
Pizza and
regrettably,
Podcast is all
or
right.
Pod Racing Cast. What about something a little less punny, a little less alliterative? Descent and Digression Podcast, because there's been a lot of both of those so far today.
Descent
don't-
in aggression.
Descent and Digression.
I don't like how you're having podcast in every title. Like,
What descent? It wasn't.
Descent
well, you
and
said
aggression.
you said Descent and Aggression podcast. Like, why can't it just be Descent and Aggression?
We can workshop it. Like we can take this idea and run with it, maybe.
What if it was just I digress ...
Is I digress taken?
Anyone on a phone want to check that out?
We'll
I
have
don't
our,
fuck with it just because I was recording.
We'll have our HR team. this up.
21st century. Oh, Eric Hoyt is emailing me. Gotta love Eric. I digress.
How is Eric, by the way?
Podcast. I think he's doing alright.
Yeah, he seems a bit stressed.
There is a podcast called But I Digress.
And that's a
Okay.
little close.
So
We can just name it. There are no podcast names left.
Oh,
one
there's
word.
no such thing as an original idea.
No.
Podcast.
Creativity is
Pretty
dead.
much.
Podcast.
That's fair. Starving Artists podcast.
That's got to be taken.
Nah, yeah, I'm sure.
I eat paint chips podcast.
You gotta just awkwardly throw a podcast on the end. Slap it on so it sounds legitimate.
Our battery
Podcast,
is dying
podcast.
podcast.
Is it seriously?
I'm sarcastic podcast.
Jeez, you scared me. I'm trying to run this thing here.
Never
We
take
already
me
have had 2
seriously,
recording
podcast.
issues that stopped recording randomly. Lucas never started recording apparently.
I
gonna-
pushed the button. It
we're-
went red. I don't.
We're in trouble.
I'm
I
a
Too
thought
failure.
much
I should have
infighting
said something when
podcast.
it was blinking. Like, I don't think that means it's
Too many
working,
cooks.
but I just didn't feel like it.
Podcast.
Oh my god.
Too
That would be kind
many
of
cooks.
hilariously terrible.
And, okay, you
Hilariously
are
terrible.
Hilarious. That can't
Oh,
be taken.
I like that one. I
It's
like
not
that
bad,
one.
right? Jade, what do you think?
That's okay. I'm good with it.
I'm gonna
Good
kick your
with it.
ass in
I'm good with
fantasy
it.
this week.
I don't-
Podcast.
No, we are not bringing up fantasy football. No one gives a shit about fantasy.
Actually, Ryan, you know how you have 2 quarterbacks now? I might need to borrow one of those.
Yeah. that might
Cam
cost
Newton
you a
might be
little
dead to
bit.
me.
I was in
wow.
class today, and like I sat in the back row, and I saw 5 different people in a class of 20, all like changing their fantasy teams around.
The
Yeah,
terrible,
no, it's not taken.
the terrible podcast, but hilariously terrible
Hilarious-
is different enough. I think
Hilariously terrible.
I like
Okay.
that.
Is that
I
what
like
we're moving
that.
forward with?
we
Yeah.
have our name, internet people. We are hilariously terrible podcast.
Can we,
Oh, it's time to erase.
no, Mr. Editor
It's
can
time
just
to erase.
put that
I'll
like,
erase it
CGI.
so it'll be easier to CGI it.
Oh, CGI, not just like plastering word art over the back.
I worked so hard in filling that in.
Well, I mean, I was going to tell you that we were going to just erase it eventually, but now with the miracle of movie magic! Bernie Burns.
Movie
We
magic.
have way too much Rooster Teeth influence. It's terrible. Although I'm sure that they'll be fine with it.
I actually haven't watched a
No
ton of
Sesame
Rooster Teeth, which is weird because I know like college students into anything like vaguely AV related, that's like their shit. And I
I don't think
Video
I've
games,
ever
production,
seen anything
podcasts,
with
they kind of do it all.
It's a cult following for sure.
Mhm.
I've never seen anything.
besides like
with
2 of their animated things, which I'm like 50-50 on.
You
Not gonna
don't
say.
even really
Oh
like
yeah,
that
there's Red
much.
versus Blue. Red versus Blue is huge. I don't watch it, but it's huge.
No, Red vs. Blue is gigantic, and it's progressed a lot beyond like where it was.
I know I asked this question before, but now would be a great time to jump in on it. What is one social event or phenomenon that you guys are just totally removed from, don't know anything about it, don't care about
It's
it?
a nice segue.
Mm.
We mentioned it before, but I feel like it's been done so much that I'm not going to bring it up. But My Little Pony.
Oh, the
Everyone-
bronies.
Everyone
Oh, God.
has shit on bronies enough, so I'm gonna stay away from that one. I guess for me it's more like the American anime movement. I'm just I don't really understand it. I mean, we've had this discussion before. I really can't get into the animation style, and I just like
Sick 'em, Lucas.
I like classic like animation styles before, and I'm not saying that I'm like saying yours is inferior at all. It's just as a personal preference. I don't even understand the movement, and then I see like some of the ways that like some people from Japan get into it with like what's her name? Who's the artist who doesn't even exist? She's just a hologram.
Hatsune Miku.
Yep,
Yeah.
Hatsune Miku, and Lawrence really likes her. And like I don't get it. I just don't understand that movement. Although that could just be partially Japan because Japan is a whole thing on its own.
A little bit of a dichotomy going on. I, like, at this very instant could name like an anime for each of you that I think you would all love.
All right. Are you like summing up who we are as people?
No,
in,
just like
in anime.
as I know about you as friends and like what your interests are, like you would enjoy these.
I want to hear this.
Give
Yeah,
mine.
I do.
Yeah, give me mine.
Ryan, Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho 100. All right, I'll remember
Jade, Relife. Andrew, Attack on Titan Season 2. if it even exists.
The joke behind that is that I absolutely hate anime as an artistic style and as a narrative style. Lucas loves it. Lucas is my roommate. We've known each other for a long time, and he, for years, has been trying to get me into anime, and I've rejected everything he's thrown at me except for Attack on Titan. I really like Attack on Titan, and I've been waiting for 2 years for season 2 to come out.
3 years now.
3 years, yeah. I was in high school when season 1
I
came
think
out.
Season 1 came out our junior year. You watched it our senior year, and still no Season 2.
And I really liked it. I liked the voice acting, even though it was in Japanese. As someone who didn't even understand the language, I really liked it. I liked the animation style. I liked the story structure, and it just kind of died. And I have no idea where season 2 is or what's happening with
Yeah,
it.
Attack on Titan's pretty huge. Even I've heard of that.
Yeah, like
So-
it was the anime for like the year it came out, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
I just can't stay invested in any. Like all my friends are obsessed with what's it called? Like Ouran High School or something like that.
Yeah,
Ouran
that's
High
the,
School Host Club.
uh,
or
No.
What is that
Jesus.
Oh, God, I know that genre, but I can't think of it offhand.
It's very
Just
Is
a
it
bunch
the
of
one where guys gets nosebleeds whenever they see a woman that they're
No, that's
attracted
No.
all
to?
anime.
Not that one? Oh, that's
That's all
that's a genre
That
convention.
has a
Or it
staple.
has
That's
Most
another
Club is
reason why I
like-
don't like anime.
has some
that-
Lolita style in it.
Okay.
Not all of it is, but there's like a specific character that is Lolita.
You would
style.
really like
Oh.
Real Life, though. I think the story, the plot is essentially like this, like 28-year-old unemployed guy. Like he's approached by this company, and it's like, hey, we'll give you a pill. It'll make you look like a 17-year-old, and then you can like redo your like senior year of high school to try to get your
So,
shit together.
17
Okay.
again, starring Matthew Perry and Zac Efron in
Okay.
anime form.
Essentially.
Nice.
Well, that sounds like an interesting anime.
I know my favorite K-drama that I never finished, the only K-drama I ever saw, is also in anime form. It's called Boys Over Flowers.
That's a rabbit
Classic.
hole right there.
Classic right there. Yeah, anime is a pitfall. I am ashamed of myself for bringing it up. All right, so who else has something that they don't really understand and can't really get into?
I don't understand the Harambe meme. I don't get it. Like, was it 3 months ago Harambe was killed?
That was a while ago.
In Cincinnati Zoo.
Is it too soon for you, Andrew?
No, I mean, like, he was killed, right?
Yeah.
Gorilla was killed. Either you think it's sad or you don't, whatever.
I hate monkeys.
Wow.
Gorilla?
Harambe
Whoa.
was a gorilla.
Speciesist.
Yeah.
and
okay.
well, a gorilla is a type of monkey, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
more
I mean-
or less.
But, like, I don't get why it's so funny. Like, why people decided to, like,
It's
make Harambe this savior figure in the internet and just insert Harambe into everything in social media. Plus, there's the whole dicks out for Harambe thing. I do not
I know where
understand.
that comes from.
Where?
So I'll be the defender
Okay,
since
okay.
Lucas was the defender for anime. I'll jump on for
Lucas
Harambe.
DeRuyter,
Alright.
defender
Yeah.
of anime.
Yeah. And then Ryan Holtz, defender of Harambe memes. So basically, Harambe died, and like people were like, "Wow, that was a sad situation." Like, I mean, yeah, clearly he had to be killed because
Right,
you know
right.
he had to save the kid's life and everything like that, and it was sad. And then like a week later was when people started kind of getting upset and being like, "Oh, maybe that kid should have died," which I thought was weird.
Oh.
So there's this guy, like, I hate to use this term because it's kind of annoying, but the neckbeard type, you know? And he's like a total, like, living in mother's basement, like, full blown. That's what he looks like. I'm not saying that he was like that. And he sends a tweet where he's holding a gun, pointing at the camera, saying, "We're coming with our dicks out for Harambe." And we're in this scenario, guns means dicks. And so, like, he then, like, some comedian saw the picture and, like, it blew up. And the comedian tweeted, #dicks out for Harambe.
Yeah, you can't
And from
not
there
roll
on
with that.
out, it just kind of spiraled out of control.
Okay. I did not
And-
know that. That's
yeah.
actually kind of funny.
And the dicks out part has also kind of died down a little bit. Now it's just
Mm-hmm.
more random Harambe-ness, and it's not nearly as popular as it was.
Right.
But
It's still making the
it's
rounds on
still
the
kicking.
internet.
It's still kicking. I just like it because it's the perfect, like, it shows the evolution of a meme. It shows, like, how something weird can just be blown out of proportion. And then also the Cincinnati Zoo saying, like, "Oh, please stop using our dead gorilla in your memes." And, like, people don't respond well when they're told what to do. Like,
Yeah.
for the longest time, the top upvoted post on Reddit was "test post, please ignore." And it had, like, 45,000 upvotes. Like, it was so great because everyone's just like, "Don't tell me what to do." Like, it's really hard to do that on the internet. So that kind of made it worse and last longer. So as a meme historian in my CA 200 class, my brief period in that class, I'm learning.
You're a meme historian.
I'm soon to be.
Can
Once I
you
graduate
can you
from this
tell
class.
me the progressional history of Moon?
Oh, Moon. I don't know much about that one. I thought you were gonna say Pepe to keep it nice and
Oh
relevant.
no,
but-
we're not. No,
I
not,
hate the
not on
Pepe.
podcast one.
Oh, not on podcast. So I'm
I
not gonna
hate the
delve into
Pepe
far right propaganda. Okay.
A social phenomenon that I don't get whatsoever, and this
I know where this is going.
genuinely going to piss off a lot of people, even though I don't think it should. I don't get DJ Khaled.
Like, what do you mean by don't get?
I don't understand why he's popular. I haven't heard like any of his music. I couldn't name a
Never,
single.
you have.
No, he's popular.
You've
'cause
heard
of-
some of his music.
All
you
we
just
do
probably
is
don't know
win.
it. Yeah.
He produces.
We the best.
All I do is we.
Does he
we-
still
we
make
no
music,
matter
or is
what.
he just like a
Yeah,
Snapchatter
he
now?
makes music.
He's not nearly as popular, I don't think. I never thought his music was like great, but it's mediocre. Like
Especially
it sounds
since
like it's on the radio.
He's just a DJ. He doesn't sing.
yeah.
He,
He's
like
he's never.
he lays down
Well, he goes
tracks. and-
DJ Khaled in the beginning.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't even know if
that.
that's him actually. That might just be
No, I think that
one of
is.
his friends.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
I
Um,
yeah, he is like noteworthy person with a large social presence and is apparently very successful in his field. A lot of people know him, and I'm
Have you
totally
seen
removed
his
from
Snap
that.
stories?
No, they don't.
The major
okay, I've seen a
killer.
couple. I don't follow him on Snapchat, and it just.
They're just something to watch when you're like having a bad day. Because there's DJ Khaled just living his life, and he's got his lion statue that he really likes, and he like loves flowers.
Oh yeah, he's really obsessed with his flowers.
Yeah, he goes up to his flower, but he's like, I love you, I love you, and then he like waters them. He's like, oh, I love you, and stuff like that, and then he just tells you to like ignore the haters, and then he goes jet skiing a lot.
Yep.
He got lost once. It was really entertaining.
There was a story on Reddit that I just read today. That was DJ Khaled during an NBA game got out onto the floor and was just like doing his DJ Khaled stuff. So he grabs a basketball, starts shooting threes. He misses the first one, and then the crowd was forced to like watch as he kept shooting. He misses 12 more. He grabs a microphone, goes, "Don't ever give up." Grabs a basketball, sinks it first try, like right after that. Just like, I don't even know. I think he might have been missing on purpose so that he could have his message of "Don't ever give up."
You're white knighting a little bit on this.
It's totally
story,
possible.
okay.
I don't even know if it happened. I just read it on Reddit, but apparently I read it on Reddit.
He's
but
very
apparently,
inspirational.
yeah, like that's kind of his persona.
Yeah.
That's what he's taken on. Is like someone who just is, I don't know.
Well, because he does the whole
fat
major
guy.
key alert, beware of they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want
will-
you to
they-
fail.
They will keep you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's some
ubiquitous
Orwellian
they.
shit right
Oh,
there.
absolutely.
Okay.
1984, 100%.
Oh boy.
Have you ever read 1994?
I've never read it. No.
It's good.
Cultural osmosis. That's where I
I've
learned
been wanting
everything
to read
from
it
it.
for forever.
Animal Farm better than 1984, hands
I don't
down.
know about that.
The topic of next podcast will be me and Lucas fighting over which Orwellian book is better.
The Animal Farm debate. The great debate.
Jade, any like social stuff that you just like? Nope.
Well, I feel like I should be into certain things. Like, I feel like I should be into Tumblr, and I should like 21 Pilots as someone who has been pretty involved in the Emo Trinity fan base. The Emo Trinity, in case you don't know, is My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, and Panic at the Disco.
Wow, I love
Harvey
all of
Danger
those.
should be somewhere in there.
That's the Emo
Am
Trinity.
I an emo? Am I
might
an
be.
emo?
16-year-old Ryan was at least.
That's fair, yeah. I don't
Where
listen
did
to
you
any of
learn
their
this?
music anymore.
I actually
I learned
like,
it from watching you.
Green Day is like they have a couple new songs. They released them on YouTube, and it's super weird to me because like I think they're okay, but like I can tell that like 16-year-old Lucas would have been all about that shit. So it's weird to me, and that like me being like 21 years old now, it's like, oh, I've outgrown like something that was a big thing like in my teenage years.
Yeah,
That's
well,
sad.
Power Rangers was a big thing for me when I was a little kid, but not when I was a teenager.
I was gonna say, you just compared Lucas's teenage years to your like.
Well, no, I mean,
third
like,
grader
as
year.
people, we grow culturally. We get into stuff
that
and
funny,
we
though.
stop being into stuff.
I find that funny because like I started listening to like Panic at the Disco when I was like in middle school. I still listen to their first album. I know all their albums, and they keep releasing, or Brendan Urie keeps releasing new music, and I like always like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of
They've changed a lot though.
Yeah.
I just feel like our teenage stuff, like the stuff we were into then, it was so much like more of our identity. And to realize like now that like, oh, I'm kind of over that. That was like a bigger chunk of my life, probably than what it should have been. But like that was like a part of me that just like seeped out and was replaced with something else without me even realizing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still a fan of like the couple of
Yeah.
albums I really listened to in high school, but I just can't be as enthused as what I was before.
Yeah, I still have like the My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, and is Panic at the Disco,
Panic at the
right?
Disco,
So
yeah.
I have like individual songs. Like I have I Write Sins Not Tragedies, and
Classic.
Thanks for the Memories, and Black Parade. Like just like the classics that I still enjoy are still like on my phone and everything, but I don't like listen to them religiously or like sit in my bed staring at the ceiling like crying. My mascara's running with like my black.
Your
and, like, everything like
mascara.
that.
I don't listen to them religiously anymore, but like I can always go back to the songs and I like know all
Yeah.
the words, and I still like really enjoy all of it.
I think there's
Yeah.
kind of like a dip of like when a song gets old and then you revisit it like 4 years later, it's like just right back to where it was, and it's like, yeah, this song's great. This is my
Yeah.
jam still, and it's awesome.
Well, that's nostalgia, You know, like
Yeah.
nostalgia makes
It's a
you
different
feel
type
good.
of appreciation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which
You're being transported.
perfectly leads into my first topic.
All right, Andrew, break them out.
What is one piece of cultural nostalgia that you unshamefully engage in?
Unshamefully engage in.
Yeah.
Emo music?
Right back to it. You know, it's a perfect cycle.
Yeah.
When I'm really upset, I just listen to like the worst My Chemical
No, I've
Romance songs.
walked
Like the
in a-
ones where it's like he's like, I wish I was dead and I hope you die too.
People give their first 2 albums way more credit than what they should.
Yeah.
I've walked in on you before, like just sitting on your bed, like looking in the corner, listening to Flyleaf, like really loud.
There we
I
go.
have done that. Flyleaf is another one.
Unashamedly,
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 1. 2010. I spent so much time in that game. My parents will probably watch this podcast, and they are going to be like getting flashbacks right now to them being like,
Was it
"Oh, why
like-
aren't you going out with your friends?" I'm like, "I'm with my friends," as I'm like playing Call of Duty, and I'm like, "Yeah, right, guys, you hear that?
Oh
Like,
my god.
my friends are right here." And like,
Do you want to know what my
it's
favorite
true, they
COD
were.
game is?
Oh no,
3.
COD 3. That's like the universal worst.
Like,
Everyone
I like
hates
it a
COD 3.
lot.
oh my god, like original Xbox, like
I think it might have been on.
Yeah.
Was it- oh yeah, because COD 4 was the first on the new consoles. Yeah.
I have it for 360 though. I
Oh,
think.
it might have been like a.
Yeah,
I
they,
think I
they
do.
refurbished it.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Because
No.
it's the only one I'm like have any skill at.
That's fair.
Like I made my cousin have a panic attack.
I've played you in COD 3.
But like
Oh,
of course,
no.
It's
Okay,
not good.
I
It's not
know.
pretty.
I used to like I'm like really bad
That's
now.
fine.
I don't
Huh.
know. I
No,
don't
I-
play video games anymore, unfortunately.
I play Black Ops like at least once or twice a week still. I'll just hop on for like an hour and just destroy everyone who's still left. I'm assuming it's just little kids that are like, "Oh, Black Ops 3, Mom, buy it for me." And she gets on Black Ops 1 and they don't know the difference and they're playing and they're like, "No, this guy's a bully." And I just beat up everyone. Like it's embarrassing.
COD
Yeah.
Blops.
COD Blops.
COD Blops. Was absolutely my favorite Call of Duty, and I mean, I don't know how it would compare to the Call of Duty like games that have been coming out recently because I haven't bought one since Black Ops 2. Because
Same boat.
I got really disillusioned with the Call of Duty franchise, and it was just the same thing over and over, and it was just running out and getting mowed down by a bunch of 8-year-olds.
Because the guns kill too fast.
The guns kill too
I've
fast.
always said this as an analysis.
I mean, like-
it lowers the skill gap because you just get killed instantly. So
I mean, like I stopped playing it because I thought it was it's just a reaction thing. Like I don't have the reflexes to play Call of Duty. It's like not a skill thing. It's just a reflex thing.
yeah.
So I moved on to FPSs like Battlefield, where I thought there was like a strategy involved. Battlefield 3 I really liked. Battlefield 4 was glitchy as shit. And then I started getting into like more like story-based narrative games, like
Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Yes.
Absolutely my favorite game ever.
Yes.
I just love the story structure. I love the characters. I love the atmosphere. Uncharted 2, probably another one of my favorite games. Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, just really immersive games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I stand in the video game market.
Yeah, I do not put that much effort into choosing a video game. It's more like, this one looks scary, Alexa, let's play it in the dark and eat veggie straws.
Fair enough.
Yeah?
Lucas, what you got?
Well, I'm a little weird in that, like, I was exposed to some media that, like, I definitely, like, shouldn't have been, like, when I was at a young age. But,
Well,
so, like, my two
It's good
are...
to get dark.
My two are both video games. The first one, like, everyone's going to acknowledge, most people will acknowledge this. Pokemon, still engage in that. They still play all the games.
everyone does. Well,
I don't.
A lot of people do.
I never played Pokemon.
Well, if you used to as a kid, you still
Right,
play now
right.
usually.
Second one, Metal Gear Solid. That was the first...
Well, they come out with new games and you still partake in them, I'm guessing, like Metal Gear Solid 5, so... Is it really that much nostalgia? Or is it more just like
I mean, that's
a fan
the
of the
weird
series?
thing, though, being exposed to like what was like definitely like an adult thing. When that was like my first video game. I watched
wow.
as a 4-year-old, I watched my dad play through like all of that game, and if that's why I have like a weird opinion of what I think is like cool, like what's cool
That's
game,
a
cool.
brutal game. Like,
it's pretty badass.
that's
Too.
choking out motherfuckers and dragging them into closets and shit.
Well, yeah, but also like a commentary on like genetic predetermination.
No,
and
yeah,
other
like
stuff like
Metal Gear
that.
Solid gets really political.
But yeah, so that one I'm not really sure if it's like, it's nostalgia for me. If like that was just so formative in my opinion of like a bunch of different media and video games that's why like I'm just a huge fan of the franchise. But yeah, that's still like one of the things that like as a kid loved it, still love it now.
I have to ask, were you from one of those families, like my own family, where like your parents just didn't really care about like the ratings on games that much? Like I've never owned a game with a rating of E ever in my entire life. I've always had T or M, and we got an Xbox when I was like in 3rd grade.
So just forever and always.
I had
adult games.
oh god, what's it called? Mortal Kombat, is that what it's called? I had that on a Sega when I was like 6.
Oh boy,
That's like
you like rip spines out and
I know, it was
OG
fun.
Mortal Kombat then.
Wow,
Wow.
that's a classic.
We had
That-
like a really old Sega.
That's the game that started the conversation with the United States government of like restricting
Yeah.
video games because they make people
ESRB,
violent.
everything
Yeah.
like that.
Mom's like, wait, should they be playing that? And Dad's like, yeah, whatever.
Who cares?
That idea is so foreign to me because as a kid, my parents like didn't even let me play video games until I was maybe like 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they really bought into the whole like video games are bad for you, go outside, which I'm glad that I like went outside as a kid. But like they were
did
also
too.
like really afraid that I would turn out as a violent kid.
Oh.
Cause
You
might
still do it.
Yeah, it might still
Might
happen.
Yeah.
still just run out and
Your
start
brain's
killing
not
people,
done
you know?
developing.
Yeah, I haven't lived out the rest of my life
Yeah,
yet.
jeez.
I didn't own an M-rated game until I was maybe 16.
I don't think we had M-rated games until I was in high school, but we always had T because we played lots of racing games, and those tend to have mild violence.
I mean, like, it would be to the point where, like, my parents would pick me up at a friend's house and we'd be playing Halo or Call of Duty, and they'd be like, "What is this? What are you doing,
Oh, no.
Andrew?"
Much like,
I had that in like elementary school. I remember my mom like said you can't play Halo anymore. I'm like, oh no, and then eventually they were like,
parents didn't
"Ah,
care that
who
much. To put
cares?"
this in context, actually nostalgia. Something that's really nostalgic for me is Lincoln Park because it reminds me of driving up north to go camping with my family.
there's a Numb or what's his name? Who's the professor for CA200?
Oh, Granat? Or no,
No.
200.
This is a class
I can't
reference.
remember his
Another
name.
class
I can't
reference.
remember his
Anyway,
name. I know what
whoever
you're
he
talking
is,
about,
before class started, he was playing Smash Mouth's All Star remix
Oh my
with Linkin
God.
Park's
Yes!
Numb.
Oh,
So
no.
it's just do, or what's Numb? I don't even know. Whatever that one is.
Become
Yeah.
so nice.
And then it's just like, hey now, urinal. Like, just
Oh my
really
God.
terrible.
Oh my
And because we were talking about like remix culture and everything, and I'm just sitting there like, I couldn't stop myself. I was laughing. So we're back, new topic. I'm gonna say this is gonna start like a new segment because college kids, you know, they always have their gripes, their moans, and I'm gonna call this segment The Dish or just Dish. And basically, you talk about things that went wrong with your day or things that just drove you crazy. I had this because literally the section before, or like the class before this, just was murderous to me. But I'll let someone else go first, and then I can finish it off with mine. So Lucas, you said you had something.
Yeah, I mean, having a good time here. I'm a little bit over it now, but in my previous class, it's a seminar class, my first time being in that, and they really put an emphasis on discussion. And so today, I was part of a group. We were supposed to be leading discussion. We're the first group to do this in this class. However, we're doing it a week late already because the class is just so far behind. We were supposed to do this last week, but it just kept being pushed back and back and back. And even today, we were supposed to like lead the entire class. We only got about like 20 minutes of actual time to like talk about the readings and all of that. But like, it just got so off topic so immediately, and the professor like kept micromanaging it that three people in this group, we only each had a chance to ask like one question to the class. When it was supposed to be like this more collaborative building type situation, and well, the topic was about a paper that like examined how people like kind of lie and present themselves differently than what they actually are on online dating websites like Match.com, etc. And immediately, like, I ask a question, the first person starts talking about Instagram. Which, like, some stuff can be, like, compared between the two, but it's not like a one-to-one comparison at all.
It's not really what you see. Yeah.
So then we just wind up talking about Instagram for, like, 15 minutes, and I talk to the professor afterwards, and I'm just like, hey, like, is this what you're looking for in discussion, or what can we, like, be doing better? Her response is just like, well, don't worry too much about it. You're, like, the first people to go, so obviously the bar isn't very high for you guys. But, you know, I want the questions to be a little more, like, I want questions that show that you actually read it. Read the assignment. Yeah, and that's frustrating.
Not great.
No, not at all.
Andrew, you said you didn't really have anything. The Wonder Boy. The Wonder Boy.
Yeah,
Wunderkind.
the only thing that I guess frustrated me today was a systemic problem in my life where I'm so forgetful. Like,
Alzheimer's.
yeah, you know,
Dementia.
it happens.
Early onset.
Yeah, very early onset. Or I could be like 80 years old and just look really young.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Although, no, that wouldn't work. Oh, no, it would work.
It would work.
Although he still looked like an old young person.
Yeah.
Like when they did that, like he looked like an old baby.
Yeah.
And then like looked like a young old person. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
He didn't look like normal at any phase except for right in the middle, which is when the romance happened.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Got to make sure that works out.
Exactly.
I'm so forgetful because like I'll wake up and I'll plan my day out and I'll like look forward to doing something or like look forward to getting something done and I'll forget about it. Like today, it was so simple. I was going to go to the grocery store on my way back home from class and go to the freezer section. I had this all planned out. I was going to get my bag of Tyson teriyaki glazed chicken nuggets.
Wait, did you find it?
Here's the thing. I got home, made myself a bowl of spinach and a hot dog, just awful lunch. And I ate it, and I sat down, and I'm like, that was an awful lunch. And then I realized that I'd forgotten to go to the grocery store, and I was going to have these teriyaki glazed chicken nuggets.
Delicious.
Just so delicious. I'm like, oh, I could have had an amazing lunch.
Do you own like any kind of like agenda or date planner or like anything that's
I
like,
always forget to get one.
it's like $5, man. You gotta invest in that.
Fair play. Jade, you had something.
I guess I do. So I don't know. I've just been in a bad mood all day for no reason.
No.
My first
Dish.
class was really nice because like all we did was just talk about upcoming assignments, but it also reminded me of all my upcoming assignments. It was a 75-minute lecture that was just talking about our midterm next week and then our term paper.
That
then
sounds like a blast.
Yeah, and then I was told that I can't write on Wiseman for my documentary class, which disappoints me because I like
Your
Wiseman.
favorite documentary?
Yeah.
Tarian.
Yeah. So, and then we found out that my midterm is going to be 75 minutes and 2 essays. So that'll be fun. So now I'm like thinking all day, like, oh, I gotta like figure out when I'm gonna study for this midterm, and that's when I realized I work 7 hours on Sunday instead of 3, and then I drafted like a 2 weeks notice to quit my job eventually. Because I'm so done with it because they keep scheduling me.
Oh no.
People keep wanting me to work for them or pick up hours at other jobs, and I'm like, can I just like not work here anymore?
I mean, your 1 gig has been a problem for you for a while, so good for you finally pulling the
I
trigger
don't know
on
if
that.
I don't know when I'm gonna do it.
You were gonna quit about a week ago.
I know,
remember.
but I'm like, it's retail. I feel so bad. It's fall.
You got to make sure you get those.
You can't quit fall or retail in the fall.
You got to get those discounted clothing items.
I don't even care. Like, I don't even like the stuff my store sells anymore.
I don't give a
I don't know if I should like put the name of where I work in this podcast for like
Yeah, probably
liability
not.
reasons. but,
Unnamed retail store.
yeah, unnamed retail store. Retail is annoying. Last time I worked. Okay, so this is a new problem I've encountered in retail. This could be a little segue into retail problems.
Oh no.
So this happened twice in one shift, and apparently people are now, like when they're buying stuff, they're asking for us to give them up to 10 extra bags so they can make gift bags. But the thing is, like, are they really making gift bags? Because we're not allowed to do this because it's a shrink risk. Shrink is like our code for like robbery. Because people take all these small bags that they got from us, they look like our shopping bags, and they'll walk around the store, shove merchandise into them, and leave And like we won't suspect it as much because they're carrying a shopping bag. It looks like they're already checked out, that type of thing. So the first person had an over $80 transaction, and it was just like underwear. She just bought like $80 of underwear and maybe 1 or 2 other things. And she's like, "Can I have 10 small bags?" And I'm like, 10? And she's like, "Yeah, I need 10 bags. They're gift bags from like something." And I'm like, "I don't know." Like, so then I asked my manager, and she's like, "No, we can't do that. We don't give out our bags." And I tell her, "No, we can't do that." She's like, "What do you mean, no?" I'm like, It's like a policy. We can't give out bags. She's like, "Oh, I don't want it then." I'm like,
Dish.
"You don't want it?" She's like, "Yeah." And then she just like gave me her bag of stuff and then like left. She didn't want to pay for it. She didn't want to buy anything because I wouldn't give her shopping bags. I'm like, that's bizarre.
It's a little strange.
Then a couple hours later, another guy comes in and he buys like 10 like mist, like body mist. We had a special. They were $8 each, so we spent $80 on body mist for party favors for his daughter's Sweet 16. And he wants 10 medium-sized bags with them. And I'm like, "Well, I can only give you 1 bag per transaction." And like, he's like, "What do you mean?" And he was getting really angry, and it's this really big guy too. And I like feel threatened, and I like kind of like look over.
When I walk into this store and buy my children's body mist.
Yeah, just pointing out that's a sketchy territory, buying something called body
It was
mist
like-
for his 16-year-old daughter's friends, and no.
So I would like
no.
try to tell him no, and he'd like look at me like, "Don't talk over me. I want my 10 medium bags." I'm like, "But I can't." He's like, "Don't talk over me." And then like Ryan, when he comes up, he's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to tell him that we can't." And he's like, "Well, it's just our policy." He's like, "Where's this policy? I want to see this in writing." And we're like, "I don't know where it is. We just know that we're not allowed to do it." And then my manager came up too, and he ended up just like yelling at my manager until she gave him the 10 bags, and then he left. He's like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Can I go
for
home
everyone.
yet?"
There's a lot of frustration built up.
A lot of dish.
All right, Ryan, this is like your topic to start out. I feel like you
Was.
need this the most. Lay it on us. We're here for
Usually
you.
the best. So basically, in our CA200 class that we've talked about before, your first assignment is to make a short video introduction to yourself. And it's just basically you in front of a camera doing a video essay like, "Hey, welcome
I
to my
do that?
YouTube channel," or whatever.
I don't remember being angry
Oh.
about that. I
Well,
would be.
that's basically it. I mean, I'm angry for a very specific reason. So basically, today was iMovie Day. I don't know if you guys have any experience with iMovie, but it is the most basic editing system of
I
all
remember that
time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
That frustrated me, and I was also like, not everybody has Mac.
yeah.
I
No,
don't have a
it's-
Mac.
It's terrible. So basically, iMovie, you drag clips into this timeline, and you can't really edit them, and then that's your editing. And I'm just like, this is so basic. I'm like, okay, whatever. So they'll probably go over it for like 5 minutes, and then just be like, "That's it. You just drag them, drop them, put them
I
in the
was just-
timeline. Who cares?"
I was like, "Screw you," and open Premiere. That's what I did.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
And so basically, this lady is up there at the front. She talked the entire hour. She talked for an hour about the different complexities of iMovie. And and so basically I've taken an advanced editing course. I've taken intro to production. I'm now in producing. I've done a ton of editing on my own. I've edited every video that's on our channel. And even back in high school, I was editing. I'd put gunshots into all my shorts and everything like that. It was fun. I've been editing for 10 years now, and I'm 20 years old. So I'm just sitting here listening to this thing what is going on here? And it is the most basic tutorial that I've ever seen. Literally, this lady, she barely knew how to download the files, and I'm just like,
Jesus.
Oh.
and I totally don't blame her at all. This is her job, and she was doing a fine job of teaching. It was clear she had a teaching background. She was a teaching assistant, and it's okay, whatever. But I don't know how many people had zero experience, but man, that must have been boring for almost everyone. There was at least 6 or 7 other people in the class who were just glazed, staring off into space, nothing was happening.
Yeah.
And it was the worst experience I've ever had, just sitting there what the heck is going on? This lady has
Plus,
no idea.
I don't think iMovie's even that great because
No, it's
I know
awful.
I've had issues with iMovie. I had to make a video in high school, and we didn't really have access to editing software. So my friend had a Mac, and she's like, "We'll use my iMovie," and it rendered it so poorly that it was embarrassing to show it in class because it just it's we were watching it like combust on the
Yeah.
screen. It was just totally messed up. I had more luck with
Dish.
Windows Movie Maker.
Windows Movie Maker is much
It
better.
was so great.
And also, I have a PC, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to be using iMovie anytime soon.
No.
But basically, it goes back to the quote of like, the wise man knows that he knows himself to be a fool, whereas a fool thinks he's a wise man. So like, basically, I'm to the point in like editing and filmmaking and everything like that, where I know how little I know. Like I am now completely aware of how far behind I am from industry professionals. Whereas like maybe a year ago I'd be like, yeah, I'm pretty close to like getting this down.
Yeah.
And so now I'm so knowledgeable of like how far behind I am. And like all these people though who don't know how to like drag a clip into iMovie.
Like me.
And I'm sure you could figure it out.
Yeah.
Like literally drag and drop, as simple as that. And like they don't know how to do that. And I'm sitting here like, wow. So it kind of gives you perspective of like how far you've come. Whereas like I can like dish out J cuts and like random fades and everything like that. I know all about low pass filters and like color correction, like very, you know, like semi complicated stuff, but then like still so far from those professional levels. And I think it kind of shows like every single career has a lot of very specific things that you're just never going to get
I feel
to.
like it's just such a waste for them to teach iMovie because like really with Premiere you just gotta tinker around with the software. Give yourself like an hour to like mess around with it, and then you'll be able to do some pretty basic editing that looks like nice and professional.
You can use Premiere as like any other editing software. You can literally drag and drop clips and just cut it and everything like that. Or you can use it as like a professional thing too.
Exactly.
So they could just easily teach Premiere and be like, oh, and then you hit C and you cut it right there, delete that, put it together, bam, you got yourself a film. So
That's how I edit.
yeah, I mean, if you haven't taken 465 class talk, as Andrew always says, if you haven't taken that class, then I can't blame you. I mean, that's really where you learn everything.
Two thoughts going off of that. I love how your situation is just so perfectly like Plato's, or no, Socrates, like a myth of the cave.
Exactly.
Like it's 100% that. But also, I mean, like that's everything, right? Like you realize, like you get to a point where like the stuff you had done is like, ooh, man, I could have done a lot better on that. But like the stuff to like the next level ahead of you is like so much more difficult, despite being arguably like a smaller distance than what it took you to get to where you are.
Yeah, exactly. I see how far the leaps and bounds it took me to get from where I was 10 years ago filming on like my dad's trail camera and like literally like using Windows Capture or something, which for some reason recorded files to be like 6 gigabytes for like a 5-minute video, so like gigantic files, and like I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to edit, so it was literally just record everything in one take, everything like that. To see how far I've come to now, it's probably a huge gap, but it still seems like it's so much more to get to like an industry level. But in reality, if you like take a step back, you can be like, wow, but it was a long way to get from there to now. And so like that can put it into perspective. But still, I am nowhere near where I want to be in, you know, a couple of years when it's time to do this for a living sort of thing. So
Your like class talk, like I'm having war flashbacks from that class right
it
now.
is.
Charlie's in the trees. I can't see him.
Because like you still have to do the video assignment where you make like a video on something and then you had to like remix it.
Yep, video 2.0.
So being a film student, like my definition of remix is like, oh, if I'm just gonna like remix like the tone and like the style of this film into something else, you know. So I took like what was a very like rhetoric approach to like communicating something and then made it into like a very vernacular like type thing, and it was like a completely different tone and style of filming, and she downgraded me, gave me a C on the assignment because her idea of remix was like the video equivalent of DJ Khaled redoing some like a Jay-Z song or something.
I can already tell
And,
if that's
like,
what they want.
And I just didn't want to do it. Like I was like, no, I don't agree with you. So then I got a bad grade.
Ooh boy.
Yep.
I'm gonna be looking forward to that for sure.
Yep.
Not at all. I was gonna like mix up some drone footage and be all fancy and everything like that. No, I don't know, because they might be like, nope, you're gonna get a C.
They're just like, she's like she was very particular.
Yeah, I have a different TV.
And I had a great video. Like, I actually, like, put it on my own YouTube channel, and somebody actually commented on it, and I was like, whoa, a commenter.
Whoa.
Commented on my video.
A commenter who hopefully wasn't racist.
Yeah,
or
no, I was
sexist or
gonna say like
Nazi-ish.
people usually aren't excited about YouTube commenters.
Well, she was like, oh, this made my
sometimes,
day, because it was
yeah.
just, like, about, like, negative impacts of online communities. That's what my video was about.
And sometimes if it's just like one commenter, it's more of like a small community, and like the person's just like, wow, this was really good. And like just super simple. Like back when I ran my Call of Duty channel, like there was a lot of like random people who were just like, yeah, you know what? This was pretty good. And I'm just like, so I kept reading the comments, and then I started getting the bad stuff because like it grew a little bit to like 1,000 or whatever subscribers, and that's when you start getting. I think that's when mainstream YouTube starts infiltrating in, and you start getting some questionable things on those videos.
Yeah.
So, but until you reach that point, like it's usually pretty helpful and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, I feel like we're approaching time. Anyone have like any closing thoughts? Anyone want to tease something for what is hopefully episode 2 of Hilariously Terrible Podcast?
Well, I see you still have one more topic, so if we want to squeeze that one in there, unless you're ashamed of it. Are you ashamed of this
Are
topic,
you ashamed?
Lucas?
I just don't think we're going to generate a lot of conversation about it, but
What is
Well,
it?
I'll
I
throw
wanna
it
know
out
what it
there.
is.
Oh, I will do my best.
I'll throw it out there.
I'm quite the
me what it is.
conversationalist.
What are you guys' thoughts on Kim Kardashian?
I hate
having millions of dollars worth of jewelry stolen from her and her, what I guess is being described as one of her second homes in France.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this, but I will generate conversation on it.
Sounds like
You seem well researched on the topic. Why don't you give us a little bit more backstory into
I
it?
saw a YouTube news clip. How this started. Kanye, in the middle of one of his concerts, like had to like cancel it like halfway through. It's like, I'm sorry, I have to go. There's been a family emergency. And then it came out a couple days later that 5 masked gunmen entered into the Kardashians' like home in France. They like kind of rent out a mansion.
It's like a renting
okay.
situation. It's not a mansion. They rent a room in a mansion. It's like a suite.
They bound her through in a bathtub.
Kim Kardashian?
Yep. Stole I think it's around $11 million ring off of her, and then several more millions dollars worth of jewelry just in their second home.
Wow.
And people's reaction has been
Like
very,
she deserved-
very mixed on
People
this.
just don't like Kim Kardashian, basically.
Yeah, that's a
like,
part of it.
I can dislike Kim Kardashian, which I kind of do. I don't particularly like have
Yeah.
any hatred for her or anything. But like, she's a human being, and
Right.
like,
Definitely.
Yeah.
that is
Like,
a terrifying experience. Like that's a
people-
situation where you're lucky that you got out alive. Like,
Right.
Well, people
It's
are all like,
terrifying.
I know that you guys were like, "This like, why does she have so much jewelry on her? Like, that's so weird." She was at Paris Fashion Week. That's what she's in town for. She's in town for Fashion Week.
Well, I would not wish anyone to be robbed at gunpoint. Like, my first reaction, which made me feel like a bad person to this story, was
No.
like, Jesus Christ, she has that much jewelry.
Yeah.
But,
You can't go down that rabbit hole train of thought, though, because then it just comes into, like, the territory of, well, I mean, was she asking for it then? And
No.
that's a
No.
whole, like,
No.
she was
absolutely
in her
not.
private
No.
residence,
If
and
she-
also,
yeah.
like, we don't know if she owned all this jewelry, because the thing is, she's like a public figure, and she's going to red carpet events all week. So like, brands and stores might have lent the jewelry to her, because that's usually how it goes. You don't usually buy this like a $10 million piece of jewelry for yourself. Like a jewelry store loans it to you, so then you can wear it as kind of advertising.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So like most celebrities, like when you see them wearing jewelry, it's not their own jewelry. They're wearing it to show it. And same with like their gowns on red carpets. They don't own that either most often. It's usually lent to them, which actually causes issues that are completely off topic with like there's been an issue with like designers refusing to dress people over a size 6.
It's a little hard for me to sympathize with somebody who lost millions of dollars worth of jewelry, but I mean, at the end of the day, nobody was hurt. I mean, everything is
It could have
probably
been
insured.
really bad.
Yeah.
She's probably
Totally.
traumatized. Thank God her
uh,
kids weren't there.
I think
Yeah.
some of you can hear in the background. That's our ending bell, as you can tell. That is the karate club right next door.
It's karate o'clock.
Yeah, karate
Yeah.
o'clock. So that means that it is about time for us to wrap up our show today. So thanks for watching episode 1 of
Hilariously Terrible Podcast.
Hilariously Terrible Podcast, or maybe just Hilariously Terrible. Join us next week for episode number 2.